We had a bunch of good trips last season, but I think the best one as far as filming goes was our week-long backcountry trip we did in Idaho. We bought a week's worth of groceries, got a little tow-behind sled for Trevor's snowmobile, and then, yeah, just spent the morning packing up, getting everything dialed in the parking lot. Bought like, I don't even know, was it 3-4 cases of beer, a couple bottles of whiskey. We got hooked up with Rux, who makes these sweet little collapsible backcountry totes. So we got a couple of those, got 10 pounds of beef, 10 pounds of bacon. Our buddy Trevor's family owns a barbecue shop, and they hooked us up with a bunch of meat. We ended up having to use a soldering gun and a torch, popped a little hole in the sled to be able to put some like little buckles through it and strap down all the stuff. About 30 miles out to this little cabin, no electricity, no heat besides our wood stove, and yeah, it took us a little bit to get everything unpacked and started defrosting some snow. Yeah, those Rux bags were sick. They kept all the snow out while we were just going 60 down the sled track, and the cabin was super small, like little teeny upstairs. We were all sleeping on the floor. I think Trevor had the only bed. Yeah, so for this trip we had, I think, 5 people. We had Matthew, he was the second camera. We had Eric and Chris and Trevor as the head writers, and then I was the director, main cinematographer on this trip. Yeah, after we got the cabin unpacked, we kind of hunkered down and just started cooking up some dinner, drinking some beers, and just getting stoked for the rest of the week. Hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, go sit down and drink some beers.
Dumbest way you can cut
You
a
just light it
pepper.
with a match, or is there?
Okay.
Oh.
That's fucking teamwork.
What are we chefing up over here?
Yeah, some sausage and peppers.
Where the clams at, dog?
Where is the
Clams, yeah.
How do you like your brats?
My favorite.
Like I like my clams.
Always boiled?
Always boiled.
Yeah, how do you,
Alright, the
how do you like
one-liners
your brats?
comes
In my mouth?
First day we woke up pretty early, cooked some breakfast, used the outhouse, got a little dust in the snow overnight, so we're all pretty stoked to get out. So yeah, after we got the sleds dusted off, everything warmed up, all the gear packed for the day, we decided to head out and hit up this zone that we've been looking at on the map. We got about halfway there, and Trevor decided to test out the powder and just went straight into the ditch. So that was just a little taste of what the rest of the day was gonna be like. So yeah, here we are digging it out. Just absolute struggle fest on the trail. We got to another zone, kept getting stuck, hit a few trees, totaled my sled. Classic day in the backcountry. I don't think we got a single riding clip on the snowboards that day. So day one was kind of a bust. We got a little scoping done. We learned where we shouldn't go and what we shouldn't be doing, but the next day we were hoping that we'd find something a little better. For day 2, we went to a new zone that we've been looking at, and we got there and the snow was pretty low. There's a lot of branches, a lot of rocks and trees and stuff, and couldn't really get the sleds up to do sled bumps. So we finally just said screw it and boot packed up a little zone and got a couple quick pow slashes and some turns under our feet, and it was pretty fun. But you know, that was the second day of not really getting any good clips. I think maybe 2 of those made it into the film, so we were kind of hurting on that side of things. But the snow was good, and we were still, hopes are high for the rest of the trip.
I'm like, wow,
Really?
they let crackheads work at the
You know how much money we probably spent?
Get easy, bud. Thanks, though, buddy.
We got 200.
During the day, my God, dude, and I used to love those things. I didn't mind the cold, though.
Hey, she won't lick, but she will stick her nose right in your fucking ear.
Day 3, we finally ended up finding some pretty rad stuff. So we set a boot pack and just started taking laps, and the snow is just absolutely incredible.
When I came over to your house, I dreamt that I was bleeding out, and I woke with you inside of my mouth, and questions of the why and how again. nothing, floating around again.
Day 4, we decided to return to the same zone so we could ride some pillow lines we saw in the next meadow over.
To love like this, it makes me sing. But don't you for 1 second think that one day lonely I won't be again.
That couldn't have been a better Tommy, bro.
For day 5, we had our sights set across the valley. There's a zone that we knew was sled bumpable, and there'd be some moderately bigger lines that we could get on. For the final day of the trip, we returned to the pillow zone to hit some jumps we had built the previous days. And that's a wrap for our week in the backcountry. Please like and subscribe. Your support makes this channel possible. Thank you so much for watching.